Down an unassuming road in Green Cove Springs, Florida is where you'll find it, but what exactly is it? Join me on a light and learning field trip to find out. This is an ET, which in this case does not stand for extraterrestrial, although it is related to space. This ET is an external tank, an external fuel tank to be more precise, for the Space Shuttle program. It is 154 feet long and built of a high-strength aluminum alloy. It was designed to hold 535,000 gallons of liquid hydrogen and oxygen. This provides the fuel for the solid rocket boosters which are attached to either side. Together, they give the shuttle the thrust necessary to leave the Earth's gravitational pull. Then the boosters disconnect and fall into the Atlantic Ocean, where they surely surprise a lot of fish. The boosters get picked up and reused, but the orange fuel tank is designed to break up after returning to Earth's atmosphere. The pieces fall into the Indian or Pacific Oceans, where they also surely surprise a lot of fish. So why did this tank survive? Well, it was a test model and was never used in space. From 1977 to 1980, it was used for structural and stress testing in Huntsville, Alabama at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center. Then it was displayed at NASA's Stennis Space Center in Mississippi until 1997, when it was moved to Kennedy Space Center in Florida. When the Space Shuttle program ended in 2011, NASA decided to do some house cleaning and started auctioning off equipment. The Wings of Dreams Aviation Museum in Stark, Florida, eventually ended up owning this external tank. It took a 200-foot barge, 2 tugboats, and several cranes to move the tank from Kennedy Space Center to Green Cove Springs Port along the Intercoastal Waterway and the St. Johns River. However, the logistics of moving an object this large over 20 to 30 miles of roads was challenging. Why? Well, take a look. For perspective, there's me, there's the tank. It's huge, right? There are all kinds of things in the way. Utility lines, signs, street lights, tree branches. All of these things would have to be removed to let the tank move through. People wouldn't have electricity for hours. Major highways would be closed. It just proved to be too much. Eventually, the idea and the tank were abandoned. Due to wear and tear, there are some holes in the tank. I was able to actually peek inside and view the area known as the inner tank. I believe this beam is fastened to the attach fittings that connect the boosters to the tank. If you visit in person, you can view this display with information explaining it written by the technicians who actually worked on the project. We call this a primary source since the people who wrote it were actually there themselves. Maybe someday this abandoned fuel tank will find a new home. Until then, it remains here, and we can visit it and literally stand in the shadow of space exploration history. So, what are your thoughts? Where do you think the tank should go next? If you want, leave a comment below and let me know. I appreciate you joining me on this field trip to the abandoned external fuel tank in Green Cove Springs, Florida. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks so much. Bye!